The Magic Couch. The Seine flowed past his house without a ripple on its surface and gleaming in the bright morning sunlight. It was a beautiful, broad, indolent silver stream, with crimson lights here and there, and on the opposite side of the river were rows of tall trees that covered all the bank with an immense wall of verdure. While enjoying the refreshing view of the river, a postman came handling a letter for him.
Good morning, monsieur. Here's a letter sent to you. Kindly sign here as a proof that you already received the letter.
Good morning. I didn't expect it to receive a letter. Well, anyway, thank you.
He opened the envelope. He was surprised when he read the headline, Statistics of Suicide.
Oh my god, is it real that more than 8,500 persons have killed themselves in that year?
Imagining what he read from the letter, he fell asleep and started to dream about the Suicide Bureau. He walked about the streets, looking at the houses, the theaters, the public buildings, and presently found himself in a square where he remarked a large building, very handsome, dainty, and attractive. He was in a beautiful city. It was in Paris. He is surprised on reading on the facade this inscription in letters of gold.
Suicide Bureau?
He approached the building and entered out of curiosity. One of the men rose and asked,
What does monsieur wish?
I wish to know what building it is.
The man led him to the office of the secretary of the bureau.
Have a seat. What can I do for you?
Monsieur, pardon my curiosity. I wanted to know what was going on here.
Monsieur, report to that in a clearly and gentle way.
The conversation started. It is his opportunity to voice out all his curiosities about the building.
How did you get that idea?
Monsieur, the number of suicides increased so enormously. People kill themselves everywhere. Hence, it became necessary to centralize suicides.
What caused the suicidal epidemic?
I do not know. The fact is, I believe the world's growing old. People begin to see things clearly and they're getting disgruntled.
Will you inform me how you carry on this establishment?
With pleasure, you may become a member when you please. It is a club founded by the most eminent men in the country.
How do you go to work?
Come with me and I'll show you. I'll explain it to you at the same time.
The two entered a card room where men sat playing in all gambling places. They were chatting cheerfully and eagerly. The secretary gave him all the information he wanted to know about the bureau. How did they come up with their idea? How did they carry this establishment? Who can authorize the institution, and etc. Afterwards, they went to the room especially reserved for the club members and the one least used. The secretary pointed to a couch and said,
We changed the flower and the perfume at will. It is volatilized with essences. Would you like to inhale it for a second?
Afraid that he would think him a coward, he answered,
Well, I'll try it.
Stretch yourself out on the abdomen.
A little uneasy, he seated himself on the low couch. He opened his mouth in order to breathe in. He looked as if he were almost caught. But a real voice, and no longer a dream voice, greeted him with a pleasant intonation.
Good morning, monsieur. How goes it?
His dream was over. He saw the scene distinctly in the sunlight, and coming along a path, he replied,
Good morning, Mario. Where are you going?
Well, I'm going to look at the drowned man who they fished up near the Morillions. Another who has thrown himself into the soup. He even took off his trousers in order to tie his legs together with them.
The End.
Created using Powtoon.